Hi everybody, this is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law. It's all we do.
And hi, I'm David Mann with Simple Message. I help lawyers make their case stories come alive. And I've worked with Just Criminal Law and Christina and her team for about a year now. We wanted to talk today about the idea of going to court with a lawyer or without a lawyer, sort of the basic first choice. And it's tempting for a lot of people to think, hey, you know what, I'm just going to go into court and tell my story, and I don't really need a lawyer. But we want to talk to Christina and find out why that's probably a bad idea. So what are your first thoughts on that?
David, I have been in court for years now, and I've definitely had the opportunity to see what happens when somebody doesn't have an attorney with them. And it's essentially the person versus the prosecutor. Now, keeping in mind the prosecutor has done this type of hearing literally thousands of times. So it's really not a fair, even match when it comes to one side versus the other.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine being up against somebody with that much experience is how could you possibly hold your own? So a prosecutor has all of that experience, and then what might happen when you yourself, trying to represent yourself, are asked to speak? What happens then, do you see?
People say all sorts of things they shouldn't say. They leave out things that they should say, and the judge is left listening to what the prosecutor thinks should happen, and then the defendant. And the judge is not the defendant's attorney. The judge is not there to make sure that the defendant doesn't have any defenses, or maybe not enough evidence was collected. A lot of things that could result in a not guilty, or that person not needing to plead guilty.
Have you seen like really bad things that people say when they try to represent themselves?
Sure, they give too many details. You know, they say, for instance, they got into a fight and they want to talk to the judge about, you know, how the other person was responsible for the fight, and the judge doesn't care about all that extra stuff. The judge just wants to know, can the state prove the elements of a battery, say, that is, you, the defendant, touched that person in an unlawful way.
Right. I suppose the instinct people have is like, hey, if I just explain why I had to beat that person up, that the judge will just understand, like they're a parent or something. But that's not the legal system. That's not how it works. So they really should, find a lawyer, but not just any lawyer. What kind of lawyer is best to find when you need a good defense team?
Well, you need to find an attorney that has experience defending people, and a lot of experience defending people. And so, it's important to have an attorney with you, but more important to have a good defense attorney, that has a backbone, that's willing to stand up for you against the prosecutor, and, really push back with the judge if need be. Say you want some evidence suppressed or it wasn't obtained fairly. So you need an attorney that's going to stand up for you.
Yeah, right. And as you and I have worked on, be able to tell your story accurately and in your best interest, persuasively, which isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, it takes some work to do that, and you need professionals on the job for that. So if someone wants all of that and they think that possibly you and your team could be the best fit, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can click the link in the description, and that'll take them to our website, where you can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. We know you only get one shot at justice, so you need to make that count.